Good afternoon on what is a surprisingly mild, bright and clear day. It's slightly breezy, but it is a nice day. It is Friday, December the 31st, New Year's Eve, and I am back in the reading nook with some parcels and of course a nice hot cup of tea, all ready to do some unboxing. So I'm going to start with this one, which you may recognise as from the packaging as coming from drivethrurpg.com, and it is care of my friend Neve, who has nicely let me do an unboxing of it. There we go. What we've got inside, okay, is that. So, this is Secrets of HeroQuesting by Storm Spearia, and this has come from the Jonstown Compendium, and is written by Simon Phipp and friends. So you can now buy this in print as well as PDF. So let's have a look. Welcome to the Secrets of HeroQuesting. Within this Jonstown Compendium supplement, you will find the rules for HeroQuesting and becoming a hero, descriptions of the plains of Glorantha, suggestions on how to run a HeroQuest, assorted HeroQuesting tips, and a summary of existing HeroQuesting rules. Now is the time to incorporate HeroQuesting into your RuneQuest or Quest Worlds game. Now, HeroQuesting forms an integral part of essentially Glorantha, and if you're role-playing in Glorantha, whether that's using RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha, 13th Age Glorantha, or the forthcoming Quest Worlds, previously known as HeroQuest, then it's an integral part of role-playing in the setting as well. Because it does one or two it does a number of things, but primarily the first thing it does is it reinforces the sense of myth of the setting and the myths that the people of the cultures of the setting understand. Essentially, when a player character goes on a hero quest, he is reenacting and enforcing not just the myth but the hero quest itself, the story, and validating it. And essentially becoming part of the myth in doing so, and at the same time that might be to ensure something culturally it's important. It might well be to attain greater status, such as like reenacting the Lightbringer's quest in order to prove your status as an Orlanthi Stormlord, for example, something like that, and essentially get to the point, come to the point where you might be crowned Prince of Sartar, or certainly assume the position. So it's it's important that a part of the culture and the setting, and because of that, it's a sort of one of those subjects in RuneQuest, role-playing at Glorantha and RuneQuest in general, that people tend to come back to and say, what is it? What is its nature? Because it's kind of like it's mythic quality. Sometimes a game master will be a little bit put off by it because it's daunting nature. So this sourcebook is there for you to essentially explore the concept and gain some idea of how to run it. It's not the first. It won't be the second. There are many more supplements which deal with this, not necessarily as a subject of their own, but they certainly deal with it. For example, look at Six Seasons in Sartar, campaign by Andrew Logan Montgomery. He's got a section on HeroQuesting in there. So what have we got inside? It is full colour. You open up with essentially interesting here is it's got a subtitle, Achieving the Impossible. Okay, and I think that's important because that gives you a sense of essentially in and out of the game, you know, you are doing the impossible. You are reenacting you're reenacting, you know, the stories of the gods, and then out of the game because of, you know, looking at how do I do that? Is that impossible? It isn't impossible as such. You can achieve it. That's the point. So here we start discussing what a hero quest looks like. And how to get there, and essentially throughout you have these big boxes of pink text or pink and red text where the author essentially explains, you know, gives further commentary and expands upon the nature of HeroQuesting and essentially gives his view of it, continuing essentially what he's written in this text, because essentially this coming from the Jonstown Compendium, it does fall under your Glorantha may vary. So we are talking about different, essentially, types of quests, basically ritualized hero quests, reenactment hero quests, and so on. Magical weapon hero quests, following magic roads. They're all discussed in there, explaining what they are and how they can be brought into the game. Raid hero quests, exploration hero quests, and so on. It's essentially helping the game master formalize them, sort of like in her mind, and how she can bring them to the table and involve her players. And it's interesting essentially that there are hero quests essentially which you can run excuse me, and there are intersection hero quests with them, and you can literally leap from one hero quest to another. I've never done it in play, but it's something I've seen discussed and talked about. I mean, I certainly have encountered hero quests being essentially parallel hero quests being run in play. Interesting scenario where we were playing essentially sort of more counts on a hero quest, and they encounter Sundomers on a hero parallel quest, and we help each other. So again, we could get into the discussion of what hero quest is made up of. So we've got attributes, hero quest elements, and more, and then the stations. And the stations form the points where essentially the hero questers will be tested, typically through their skills, runes, and passions, particularly their runes, and typically they are tied into runes that are important to the hero quest. And one of the interesting things at that station is if you have a parallel hero quest where they share a rune in common, you can jump from one to the other. So we have, when we talk about the challenge of the hero quest, and basically presenting mythic heroes and enemy opponents. An interesting section on involuntary hero questing. You know, basically you might be dragged into it, and of course cult support, important because obviously in a lot of cases the hero quests are run either essentially as the cults have their own hero quests, just as particular tribes do, and so on, and even whole countries like Sartar and the Lunar Empire. Excuse me. And then it's also talking about the possibility of changing your hero quest, even to the point where it can be done permanently. And so essentially what happens in that case is in effect the hero questers are changing the myth, because there's that two-way interchange between sort of like the myth and its reenactment through the hero quest. And so we've got an example of changes to hero quest there. Talking about illumination hero quests, and basically this is taken from the author's Secrets of HeroQuesting sourcebook as well. Then we get onto the plains of Glorantha, which is essentially the HeroQuest can actually take place in essentially mythic. In a mythic space, which can be the hero plane, an other world, even the spirit plane, or god plane, depending upon the hero quest and its importance. So we are discussing that. Then we get into running a hero quest and whether or not it should be a robotic railroad, or really. Essentially, as it says here, every hero quest is different. When you perform a hero quest, you take a myth and overlay it onto the world. This causes the world to be shaped by the myth and allows you to interact with the myth and the world at the same time. And then it's just further advice and so on, covering why perform a hero quest, designing them, describing them and running them and so on. All good, useful information for the Games Master, and essentially giving some examples here at the end, and talking about the types of hero questers, and essentially how to become a hero. Essentially, because essentially hero quest as in quest to become a hero. And there's some rules at the end for the different iterations of Glorantha set role-playing games. So that does include Hero Wars and HeroQuest role-playing in Glorantha, HeroQuest Glorantha, 13th Age Glorantha, and so on. Essentially, it's listing all of the, and that's really useful, it's listing all of the hero quests available if you have access to that library. And in many cases, they are available online. Last we've got an epilogue and so on, and a glossary, all there, and so on, just to round out the book. So that is Secrets of HeroQuesting for basically your RuneQuest role-playing, whether that's using whatever system is your choice, but primarily RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha, available from the Jonstown Compendium. So, first off, I want to thank Neve for lending me this copy of the book to do an unboxing. And then, if you have enjoyed this unboxing, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, then I appreciate you posting those, and I do take the time to look at them and respond. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings here in the Nook, then where you will see me with a package and a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.